Hi everybody, welcome back to musicmoose.org. We're going to get into minor chord construction in these lessons. And if you remember, we went over the major chords, where you learned all of the major chords along the fingerboard of the 5-string banjo. Okay. Now, remember that the major chord consisted of the 1, the 3, and the 5 out of that major scale that we've previously gone over. And if any of you don't quite remember this, you can always go back to the lessons on major chords and scales in the beginning banjo lessons and refresh yourselves if you'd like to. And remember, we're going to be working with triads for right now. And remember, triads are 3-note chords. Tri means 3, and we're going to put the 3 notes together, and they are going to make up our triads, and also for the minor chords as well. Now, just a little refresher, so you remember that the first thing I just want to make mention again is that we have 2 D strings on the banjo. The 4th string is a D string, and the 1st string is a D string. Again, they're the same notes. They sound exactly the same. They're just 1 octave apart. And remember that any time we fret the same fret on the 4th and 1st strings, we get the same note no matter where we fret along fretboard of the 5-string banjo. So, going back to the major triads, the major chords. Again, 1 plus the 3 plus the 5 out of the major scale. And I'd like to start with, again, we're going to start with the G chord in the 4th string position. And just the major chords for right now, the full chords, okay, or closed chords. And remember that that 4th string fretted just behind the 5th fret, that's a G note. Again, that's the root. And again, all the root means is that's what we're going to name the chord. So again, that's our root. So we have, if you remember, we have the 1 on the 4th string, we have the 3 on the 3rd string. That's the 3rd note of the scale, the 3rd string, and then the 5th degree on the 2nd string. So we have 1, 3, 5. Okay, and that's important to remember in these major triads, because everything from here on in, mostly with all the chords that we're going to explore, are going to be built off the foundations of these notes and coming out of this major chord and this major scale. Okay. So again, we have the 1, 3, and the 5. Okay, so there's our triad. Again, if we hit the full chord in this 4th string position, it's a full chord now because my index and my pinky are both fretting the 5th fret. Okay. Now, I'd like to go back to the board again. And you can see I have the circle here with the 1, 3, 5 contained within that circle. And I went over this again. I just want to go over it just a little bit more. Again, you can think about the 1st, 3rd, and 5th degrees as being perpetual, or you can think about them as being in a circle. Because as we work our way up the neck with the 4th string position, the 3rd string position, and the 2nd string position, I should say the 4th string position, the 2nd string position, and then the 3rd string position. As we work our way up the neck, these notes are just going to keep rotating, okay? It's perpetual. And as we work up the neck with these major chords for right now, you can think about them going in a circle counterclockwise, okay? So with the 4th string position, we started on the 4th string, just behind the 5th fret, and that's our 1. And then next was the 3rd string, fretted just behind the 4th fret, and that's the 3rd degree of the scale. And then we fretted the 2nd string just behind the 3rd fret, and that was the 5th degree of the scale. Okay. So again, we have the 1, 3, 5. Okay. Now coming up to the 2nd string position now. And what we're thinking about, we're still thinking about that 4th string. So as we slide up to the 2nd string position, now we have 3, 5, 1. Okay, so we're working ourselves up the fingerboard, and again we have 3, 5, 1 in that circle. Now we're just going around clockwise. Okay. Now coming up to the 3rd string position, or the bar position, now we start with the 5. So we have 5, 1, 3. Okay, it's really important to remember those numbers associated with these patterns if you can. Okay, again, I'm going to go over it one more time, starting with the 4th string position in that G chord. 1, 3, 5. 3, 5, 1. 5, 1, 3. Okay. And then when we get back up here, we're just again repeating ourselves. We have the 1, 3, 5 again. Okay. So there's our triads. Now let's do the same thing, starting the triad now on the 3rd string. And I see I'm running out of time, so we're going to take this in to the next lesson, everybody, and hope to see you back here on musicmoosh.org.